buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back?
Yeah.
Of course, definitely. Well, here's our car. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
Back on WCOU Sports, Ask the Coach with Coach Jeff Griffith of the Barron County Trojans. And we want to remind you, after the show, if you would like to go online at watchwcou.com, you can catch the McDonald's podcast with game film. And as always, we want to thank McDonald's of Glasgow for supporting the Ask the Coach podcast. Coach, just individually last night, we've talked a little bit about what we did offensively last night. Zach Sneed, another stellar night on rushing the football. If the stats I have are correct, he carried the football 9 times for right at about 200 yards last night. Ty Hay, 1 carry for 6 yards. I know Ellis Winiger had 3 carries for 39 yards. I think, let me see who else. Andrew Hughes last night. Andrew had 1 touchdown that was called back, I think, for a hold or something maybe early on. But Andrew was 4 for -11. And, of course, some of that goes back to, to having the football and taking a sack or whatever. But Stanton got 4 carries for 26 yards. Nick Mabe, 1 carry, I think, for 23 yards, and I think that ended up in a touchdown maybe on the jet sweep. So, and then Hughes, we talked about. I think he was 5 for 6 last night with a total of. Overall. That's Grayson County stats there. I'm looking at the wrong one. He passing 5 for 6 for 157 yards last night. Just great effort on the ball, rushing and throwing the football last night. Probably looking ahead a little bit at Edmonson County. Of course, I know you don't want to give away all your game plan, but last night we saw a lot of 2-back set in the backfield. We were able to throw the ball around some, and some of those were big plays. I can think of one where they had to turn the ball over on downs, and we snapped the ball, and they got us for a false start or something, and we had to go to the second snap. I think he throws the ball downfield to Mabe for probably somewhere close to a 70-yard strike, where that was able just to get behind the defense, and it was just play catch-up from that point. Are we looking at an Edmonson County team that same thing defensively? Do they look the same defensively maybe as Grayson County when we look ahead for next week?
Well, what Grayson County did, and the reason a lot of those things were open in the first half was because they were playing some man coverage and walking everybody up to stop our running game, which, we've got some big kids up front and some running backs that's going to run it downhill, so they were going to really try to stop that. But, if you can do that and then we can't throw and catch, effectively, then you can make our life miserable. But what happened last night was we had, Nick was getting open, Ty was getting open, and Andrew was really accurate last night throwing the football. And, of course, I don't know if you noticed, but after we completed 3 or 4 of those and deep balls, they went to a 2-deep shell and then we could run the football more effectively. And, of course, it hurt us a little bit throwing the ball, but that's why they do it, to stop the pass. And I suspect we'll see a similar scheme against Edmonson County. I mean, they're going to mix it up in terms of when they're going to crowd the line of scrimmage, and they'll break us down and that type stuff, and crowd it when they think we're going to run it, and then play 2 safeties deep and stuff like that if they think we're going to throw it. And we got to be able to see that and adjust to it and get ourselves in the best play that we possibly can and execute. And execution is the key to the whole thing. Whether we're running it or passing it. And you're not going to score a 60-yard touchdown every play, but you want to have effective play and everybody execute and do their job, and you can have a good offense doing that.
Then over on the defensive side of the ball last night, some individual stats. Grant Bowen with 6 tackles. Goldsmith with 1, Hill with 2, Perkins with 4, Sneed with 4, Blakely with 1 and a sack, Winiger with 3, Hammer with 5, New with 3, and 2 of those forced fumbles we talked about earlier. Matthew Bellamy with 3, Kyle Roach with 1, Mabe with 1, Gunnar Eaton with 3 tackles and a forced fumble. Hughes this wasn't on the defensive side of the ball, but it became defense when he threw the interception. A great open field tackle. We've not seen Andrew on the defensive side of the ball, and Andrew's a good ball player on the defensive side of the ball. And that kid had no idea when he come running down through there that this quarterback is fixing to stick me and drive me in the ground. And so Andrew just made a great open field tackle on him last night.
If you're Andrew and you throw the pick, you better go get the guy down. It also
better not let him by.
Andrew is a good athlete at about 6'2" and 215 or 20 pounds, and that's what everybody says. After the game is over, you talk to a coach, say, "Gosh, your quarterback is a load," and he's a big kid, and he said, Andrew was joking last night. He said, "Coach, you need me to go in there and play some linebacker?" I mean, and Andrew would be a good linebacker if we played him over there, but obviously we don't want to play our linebacker or our quarterback at linebacker unless we just absolutely had to. But yeah, he did a good job, and again, I think that Andrew has done a really good job at quarterback, but not just throwing and catching and running, but he's done a really good job all year of being a leader on our team and staying positive and executing the offense, and and that's what we've got to have out of him.
Looking ahead to next week, defensively, we've talked a little bit about offensively. They're going to mix it up, and you have a game plan going in, and depending on what they're going to give you, what you're going to do defensively. What are we going to need to do defensively against them? What kind of offense are we going to see on Edmonson County? I
think offensively, and I've not watched them a whole lot at this point, but what I have seen, they're going to be very similar to us. They're going to be a team they've got a running back and a Cottle kid, number 22, that's a really good athlete, runs really hard. They're going to be physical up front. They've got a big offensive line and quarterback that is effective and throws it and runs it. So it's kind of got a two-headed monster there in their quarterback running back combination. And but I think offensively they'll look similar to us, and and we've got to be able to stop that and do it. Bring a level of play with a chip on our shoulder like we have the last 2 weeks, and execute offensively and tackle defensively. And I think we'll have a good chance.
Definitely look forward to coming out to Trojan Field next week. We want to invite all you guys to come out. It is senior night, and going to be, watching this last home game for a lot of these seniors, watching these boys grow up and play for the last 7 or 8 years. It's one of those times where, it's going to be sad to watch them go. You've got a lot of friendship there with the kids, a lot of friendship with their parents that that those guys are not going to be there every game next year. And so it's going to be, an emotional time for those families and those kids. And I'd like to see those boys come in and play with that intensity, and let's win this home game for them, and take into playoffs, another win here at the end of the season, and, shake this monkey off our back and keep driving toward not only a win next week for Edmonson County, but bleeding over and winning a first-round playoff game. It's been a long time.
Well, this group of seniors, this is my first year as the head coach here, and first time to be around. And anytime there's a coaching change, it's usually, it's always hardest on seniors because, it's just everything is new, and they have 1 year to go through it. And tell you what, this group of seniors has really embraced me and our coaching staff and what we're trying to do. And they've made coaching fun for me again. And it's like I said, they've been fun to be around. They've come to work every day. And when you've lost 4 or 5 games in a row, it's tough to come and punch that clock. But this group of seniors has done a good job of leading our team, making sure we come to work every day and get it done. And of course, I was glad we won last night. They deserve that, and we certainly need a big crowd to support these guys because they've done a good job all year.
Again, a reminder: come out next week, Friday night, 7 o'clock down at Trojan Field, as we take on Edmonson County. And we want to invite you to come out and support those seniors and support the Trojan football team. And, Coach, we're going to be looking for a win. like we do every week. And but just the way the intensity in the play, I see that we're going to win this game and just continue to carry this on and look forward for these guys and for the coaching staff. Like you said, it's some hard days when you go in and you got those losses. It's hard to continue to play, but you guys have continued to try to scheme, to try to get something to work. These boys have continued to work, and they're just showing the heart they have to, hey, this season's not over with yet. Let's keep playing. So come out Friday night, 7 o'clock, Barron County Trojan Field. And if you want to check out the game film from last night's game, you can go to watchwcou.com and go to the podcast with game film. And again, we want to thank McDonald's of Glasgow for sponsoring that. Come out and join us Friday night at Trojan Field for senior night as we take on the Evanston County Wildcats. And Coach Griffith, thank you for giving your time each week to come and be a part of the Coaches Show.
Thanks, Brad.